Hello, and welcome to this abbreviated version of Uncorked with Funny Wine Girl. This is Funny Wine Girl, aka Janine Luby. I'm sorry I'm taking a long time to say that. I feel completely stuffed up. It was a really weird feeling. I'm like, okay, just keep talking, even though you sound really nasally. It's all good. So it's February 9th. It is just days away from Valentine's Day. I am going to be real with you because that is pretty much all I know how to be. I'm not saying I'm always myself. Let's face it, I don't want to sound full of shit. There are times when I pretend because you can't always be completely truthful. But overall, I do say pretty real stuff and I try to be pretty transparent on my social media and in my stand up, although I have a lot yet to explore. Um, to be really honest, to tap into some really raw stuff for my stand up. But I look forward to mining through all the crap in my head and my heart over the coming years and pouring it out on stage. But ultimately, I do try to be real on social media, whether I'm posting about how I'm feeling, lack of motivation for my running, how I've put on weight, how my perimenopausal hormones are taking control of my body, like pirates who've hijacked a vessel or a ship. How my arthritic toe is also not motivating or keeping me from feeling motivated, and how some days I just feel like I've aged several years within 1 year. Even though, believe you me, I was thrilled to turn 50, not this past summer, but the previous September. I was thrilled to turn 50. I was thrilled to celebrate. I'm all about birthdays. But when I turned 51, I was like, okay, I'm still cool with telling people I'm 51 and still cool with the whole aging process. But I feel like I've aged like a lot in the past year. So, my point being, I'm going to be real with you right now and tell you that today's recording episode was supposed to be something different. And I guess I don't have to tell you that, or I don't, I shouldn't feel the need to tell you that because I like to think back to advice I used to give my students in speech class and advice I've heard from other people through the years, like whether you're doing stand up or you're delivering a speech or anything for the public. Chances are, unless they are someone who helped you prepare your presentation or you're who have seen you do stand up or know exactly what you're going to say, most people don't know what you had planned. So if you forget something, I used to tell my students in speech class, if you leave out a sentence or two or a fact, or you mess up a word, it's okay. Chances are people in the audience, they don't know that you were supposed to mention a couple more things or that you forgot someone's name that you had done your research on. They didn't do the work, so they don't know. So you guys wouldn't know unless I told you, but it's me. I can't help it. I wanted to tell you probably because I'm disappointed in myself and I just want to share this with you. As February 9th, like I said, just days before Valentine's Day, it was my initial hope and desire and plan to have written an original story that I would have read for this week's episode. Similar to what I did in October around Halloween, I did a scary story and I actually really enjoyed that one. So I hope you did too. If not, it's not for everybody, but I had fun writing it and I actually think it came out pretty well. And a couple friends who enjoy murder mysteries and things like that were, they thought it was pretty good. So I actually was going to do something related to that story and make it like a scary, kind of like a bloody Valentine or something. And I will tell you that time just passed. I could tell you that I was too busy, although that would be somewhat of a lie. I'm going to tell you that I have a little bit of a love affair with Netflix and Apple TV and Paramount Plus. So I did have time to binge some shows, but I don't want to make myself sound like a tortured artist. For those of you who do creative things, you'll probably agree with me, or maybe not. It can be difficult at times to do creative things on a schedule. So while I wanted to work on this, I'll admit part of me was lazy, part of me was watching too much television, but there is something with creativity where it should come to you. And it's hard to just sit down and force yourself to do it. Now, of course, I've taken writing classes in college, and we used to do some great exercises where it was just, I think, to get us in the habit of writing and the practice of writing, where it might be like 15 minutes straight, where it's like, write. And then, you have people say, well, what should I write about? And the whole point was, I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Just write something, anything. And that really was a great exercise to just, in a way, you're forcing yourself to be creative, although it doesn't mean you're going to write something that's really good. It's just, it's forcing you to write and to do that. So I probably could have forced myself to sit down and just start writing something, but alas, I did not. So instead of me talking for 10, 15 minutes about what I didn't do, I'm just going to fess up. I just wanted to let you know that. I really had hoped to share something special and original with you. I do have the next 3 weeks of episodes already recorded, and I'm super excited about that. So before I finish, I will tell you about what's coming. But I have them kind of on a schedule. So I'd like to keep it on that schedule. And just like I said, fess up to the fact that I don't have a bloody Valentine story like I wanted to share with you. So I hope you will forgive me. After saying that, I should share this with you because I think it's funny. I don't know if you will or not, but the relationship that has been torturing me actually recently, and it's been pretty intense. I've been getting a lot of texts, phone calls, email messages. It's kind of like it made me go, whoa, dude, relax, back up. It's actually with his initials are CG. And it's, it could be, it could get crappy. It's what's been on my mind for the past 3 weeks, and I'm feeling somewhat tortured, anxious, nervous. And I look forward to wiping those feelings away, to just flushing them, getting rid of them, just flushing them away. So I don't know, how should I say this? The relationship I'm talking about is my relationship with Cologuard. I don't know if any of you have ever done this, but I've been tortured over the past 3 weeks trying to decide and schedule when I am going to make my specimen delivery, or I should say, create my specimen and then put it in the box to deliver it. Yeah, I know this is total TMI, but this is where I'm at in life. And I know there's material. I just need to dig it out. I just need to dig it out. I really do. So yeah, so when you reach a certain age, just in case you're at that age, I was at the doctor's recently and I thought, oh, I'm 51. I should probably get a cancer screening. Colorectal cancer and colon cancer is no joke, right? But you have to take care of yourself. So I thought, oh, I need a colonoscopy. And apparently, what I don't know if this is what every doctor's office is doing, but they said, no. Do you have a risk of this cancer in your family? Like, has anyone in your family had colon cancer? Or no, they haven't. Okay, well then this is what we recommend: Cologuard. So you've probably seen the commercial of that handsome little box guy, or maybe he's a girl, maybe it's a girl, or it's a neutral. Maybe the box is not gendered. I don't know. I'm saying guy because that's who I've dated, is men. So the little box with the feet and the smile, and that's what you see on the commercials. So I really do have to work this into my material, because I'm not kidding though when I tell you this has pretty much taken up a lot of my time. And I guess I could blame Cologuard for not making the time to write my creative story, because I've been like, okay, so I have to make time to set this up, you've got to put a little jar and put a bracket on your toilet seat, and then you put a little jar in there, and then you have to deposit the specimen, and then you have to put it in the box. You have to seal it up tight. You have to put a little, a little liquid or something on it. You have to take another little specimen. You put in a card, and then you have to seal up the box, make sure it's upright, make sure it's kept in a cool place before you, not in direct sunlight, and then you've got to get it to UPS and ship it out. So it's been a lot weighing on my mind. Okay. It's just a lot. So it's that number two has been number one on my mind for the past couple of weeks. So to me, Cologuard is my Valentine, and I may just take care of business on Valentine's Day, only because my schedule lately has had me pretty busy from morning until about 2 in the afternoon. And I'm not kidding you when I'm telling you I've been really possessed with the scheduling of this specimen to check for colon cancer. And for those of you who are like, oh my God, is she really talking about this? Eh, so, I get it. It's not for everybody if you're squeamish to hear about poop. But on the other hand, you know what? You do need to take care of yourself. We all need to take care of our health. And this is a preventive measure to prevent cancer. So that's the big relationship story that I wanted to share with you all. Other than that, I will just say that for Valentine's Day, I would like to, in all sincerity, say, remember that while it is most often thought of as a time for couples, for romantic partnerships, those are, of course, so important. I know. So I hope that you will do something romantic, loving, fun, laughter filled with your partner, your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your significant other, whatever you call them. If you have a t-shirt that says I'm with stupid, if it's stupid, whoever and however you call that person that you love, I hope you enjoy some love and laughter this Valentine's Day. But I do also want to say, let's not forget other people in our lives who hold a special place in our heart that we should also, and maybe you're listening and you're like, okay, it's just another excuse for Hallmark to make money, and florists and, bakeries and chocolatiers. But hey, you know what? That's what helps to keep the economy alive, right? And supporting local business. So I'm all for that. I'm all for reasons to celebrate. But truthfully, yes, of course, I know we can show our love and affection to the people in our lives every single day. I know that we could do it anytime. In fact, flowers for no reason are wonderful. Thoughtfulness from anyone, a romantic partner or a friend at any time, is awesome. It's great. I love getting cards, someone thinking of me, out of the blue and saying, hey, I know you like Van Gogh. I saw this. I got all of any thoughtful act is wonderful. And as we know, it does not by any means have to be commercial. It does not have to involve a lot of expense or finance. Just thinking of people goes a long way. So, but like I said, let's reach out to people that we care about. Of course, Valentine's Day has kind of been making a splash or whatever. We could say thanks to Amy Poehler on Parks and Recreation. So, and I do think female friendships are so important. We rely on one another for support. We can vent to one another. We can bitch. We can celebrate our victories together. We can share what we've learned from one another. And also not just our gal pals, but our guy pals too. I have some good guy pals who listen to me as well and offer me advice. Although sometimes a little too much. Hello, mansplaining. Have you ever heard of it? Yeah. And it's funny when they do it so much they don't even think about it. Trust me, I make sure they're aware of it. But yes, let's celebrate all of our relationships and our important people in our lives. For me and you, if you know me, you know that Joe and Carol, mom and dad, are the most important people in my life. They are. And I can't imagine, and I don't want to imagine, although in all sincerity, I'm 51. My dad turns 86 on February 15th, the day after Valentine's Day, which is wonderful. We love to celebrate Joe. He's like me. I'm like him. We both love to celebrate our birthdays. My mom is 77. So I don't again want to go morbid, but as your parents age, you start to worry more about them, and life changes and it's what's on your mind. So I don't want to imagine the world without them. They are truly the most important people to me, and they've allowed me to do so many things, and they always support me, and I just love that. And I know they're there for me. They're my ride or die bitches, and I love that about them. Joe and Carol, props to you both. I love you to death. I love you to pieces. I love you to the moon and back, to any other planets that are out there and back, all that good stuff. And so many wonderful friends. And I am not going to name them, except who I'm going to name? My number one fan, Ollie. I will name Ollie because he listens to the podcast every single week. And not only does he listen, but he gives me feedback, and it fills my heart. No joke, not trying to be corny. It's the truth. Every week, I genuinely, do you want to talk about thoughtfulness, right? He sends me a text, and I look forward to that every single week when he'll explain to me what he enjoyed about the podcast, about the guests that I have on, what in particular he liked, he learned, he laughed at. And it means so much to me. And it's nice to know that people are listening, and it's nice to know that they're impacted. And that, again, that means the world to me. So think of that too this Valentine's Day, or just, any day in life, but telling people how they impact your life, how they affect your life, how they've inspired you, how they've made you feel loved or safe. It might seem like, oh, well, I'm not that kind of person, or they're not that kind of person. They don't like touchy feely stuff or whatever. You know what? It doesn't matter. It's something I know everyone likes to hear. Loving words, kind words, praise, things that come from your heart will certainly fill their heart. So happy Valentine's Day, whoever you spend it with, or whoever you call your love, your lobster, your soup snake. Have some fun with them, love, laugh, and spread that joy to the world. Now, I'm not talking about, getting jiggy with it in a parking lot or anywhere in public, but just love and laughter, that great energy and vibe and feeling. Let's just spread more of that and love in the whole world. And that sounded really hippy dippy, but hey, it's true. We need it. There's so much sadness and pain and hate, and it just has to stop. It's just too much. It's too much. It does break our heart. So let's fill our hearts instead. And I will say, for the coming weeks, what have we got in store for you? Well, Luz, oh my gosh, Cabrales. There we go. Luz Cabrales is of Scranton Films. She is a creative, engaging woman who has made her home here in Scranton. She lived in California, but she enjoys living here in Scranton. She makes wonderful films. She will be my guest next week. And then we have Michelle. I'll say Michelle P, because I don't have her name in front of me, and it's kind of a long name. I don't want to mess it up, but she is another interesting woman who will be a guest the following week. She started a business recently. She will share her journey, also her journey of recovery, and how she overcame an addiction in college. Wonderful story. Great inspiration, a great fun business. In fact, it kind of connects a little bit to my Cologuard, although not exactly, but you'll find out. And then the following week after that, we'll kick off March Women's History Month with two women who own an axe throwing company business. So I, as always, am excited to share their stories with you, their journeys. And I hope, as I always say, that you will get a little bit of information, insight, and that you'll be inspired and entertained. So that's it for me. Peace out. I am sorry again that I did not deliver the creativity that I wanted to, but I am glad that I shared my wish for you this Valentine's Day. And just again, share what's in your heart with someone who means a lot to you, or even a little. It doesn't have to be a dying, burning love, but just share some kindness with someone, because it goes a long way, and we sure as hell, all of us, need it. So I thank you as always from the bottom of my heart and the bottom of my wine glass.